Hello, craft beer lovers, and I hope you can actually hear. I'm about to get my drink on, and Sam, the mascot's his water ball's right underneath us. Which, fortunately, the last episode, the beer float kind of missed his water ball.
It did.
If not, we would have had a really confused happy cat. But no, it went that way. It's just straight down. So if you hear a lick, 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 I'm not getting ahead of myself. It's Sam enjoying himself. Happy St. Patrick's Day, although we'll be a little early, but still, it's a good time to prep. Oh, by the way, I'm James. I'm your host, wonderful director behind the camera.
I'm Cheryl.
And then Sam, who's getting his drink on. Certified Cicerone, distiller with Castle and Key, Stave and Thief Society. If you like hearing me ramble off by credentials, like and subscribe. See, I'm going to try and get that in at least twice. Because we see that in YouTube's, what is it, 3 times people have to hear stuff before it registers? I'm a third of the way
Actually,
there.
it's much more than that. But,
Anyway.
And I love that you're just like, oh, by the way, I'm just a Cicerone.
I'm just a Cicerone.
I'm just a Cicerone. I'm just a
distiller. It's no big
I'm
deal.
just a distiller.
Just a distiller. So St. Patrick Today's coming up, and for better or for worse, sometimes for worse, but we won't share those stories. It's a drinking holiday. Let's call it what it is. It's
At least here in America.
here in America, it is. People are going to go out and they're going to drink beer. And odds are they're going to drink green American mass-produced lagers. First of all, don't if you can. Go to a local brewery. You can still get green beer. Odds are it's going to be their... I was kind of surprised Country Boy is doing their light lager, which is really good. And we're going to feature that in an episode against the big boys here in a couple months because I think it's that much more superior. So they're going to have that as a green beer. I know Mirror Twin always has their blonde ale as a green beer. Ethereal's going to do their House Pilsner as a green beer. Mm-hmm. You can get good craft green beer if you're just dying to have green beer. But if you're not going to a craft brewery and you still want to be Irish themed and drink beer because there is tons of great Irish whiskey, I would suggest going with an Irish Red. And odds are, if you're a non-craft beer drinker and they're mass produced, you probably can get them to something like this. Now, this is Kentucky. Well, it's not Kentucky Ale, Irish Red Ale. It used to be just Kentucky Ale, but I know we've already discussed this on the channel. Lexington Brewing and Distilling. A perfectly fine example of Irish Red. Now, we don't talk about them much here because, I've talked about them a lot in the past. And it's just a good ale. So it's going to be fruitier and brighter than what you're going to get for a lager. It's going to be more body. It's going to be malt driven, very few hops, but honestly, a lot of American light lagers, mass-produced lagers, aren't hoppy. And if you know anything about the Irish, to do it in the proper style, they don't always get along well with the English, and the English are the ones that made the hops. So they did just enough hops to make it good without over hopping. So this is going to be a malt-forward, sweeter beer. Yeah, nice little head. Yeah, creaminess, roast, light toast. It's bready. Odds are, if someone's going to drink an American green beer and you gave this to them instead and say, look, it says Ireland on it, odds are they're going to like it and maybe want to discover a couple more craft beers. They're a whole lot worse gateways. I don't know, do they even make Killian's Red? I haven't seen Killian's Red in forever.
I haven't.
That was Coors. They did a mass-produced red, and it was good. If you want to get to someone to figure out how to drink something besides a mass-produced lager, it's a good introduction.
Okay, it's better for me on like the second.
Oh yeah.
No.
Toast.
Yeah, you're right.
It's toast. And that is a malt forward beer. But that's what it's the way to be described historically, just because they don't play well with the English, and the English were the ones that had hops. Or trying to get it from Germany, I'm sure, was not going to be cheap. But our household, and odds are the director's going to finish this one after I drink, we drink Guinness on St. Patrick's Day. My mother, who doesn't drink beer, drinks Guinness on St. Patrick's Day. Guinness is awesome because when you pour it, first of all, it's kind of a living thing. I'm not going to do the pour justice because I just don't have the equipment for it. A little more head. Come on, you. There we go. Actually, that's not bad for what it was.
No.
And it's not. It says Guinness draft, but it doesn't quite pour like a draft because when you do a draft, it just churns and looks living. That color is black. You think you're gonna drink a coffee, but it's even more so. I mean, this is like toasted bread malt. This is like a light coffee malt. It's just so creamy though. It's like there's no lactose in it, but because of the nitrogen and the way they make it, it's just so creamy and round. That's why even my mom likes it. It's almost not quite a latte, but almost like a latte. It's just no. So I feel comfortable. You are never going to get your American lager drinkers, American mass-produced lager drinkers, to ever drink this. But if you're in this neck of the woods and I've always been wondering, I mean, you kind of dabble, go all in. You can't go wrong. I think it's the color that dissuades everyone off, because I mean, that looks like it would be chewy and thick.
So there are people who won't drink Guinness.
We know one who won't drink Guinness.
Well, that's true.
Yes. My dad does not drink Guinness.
But your dad doesn't drink a lot of beer. Your dad's not
My dad grew up in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
He's
say
not
more
gonna
on
drink.
that.
He's not going to drink. Yeah, he's not going to drink a Guinness.
And this is not his style. He's tried it before, doesn't like it. That's cool. That's why Budweiser and Miller and Coors sell a lot of beer. They're doing something right, or you wouldn't sell that much. But there are people who have different tastes, and that's great. I mean, this is not May bagging on mass-produced lagers. It's hard to do something that consistent from Florida to Washington.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good day to celebrate. I mean, I would start maybe with a green beer and then kind of work my way up as the day goes on. Sure, I get that. Hey, let's wake up my palate with something light that I know. I'm bored. Let me try. It says Irish on it. It's reddish. Going in, that's very golden amber, to be honest. That's a taste you're going to be familiar enough with that you're not going to be against it. Now, you've had a couple of each of these. If you're willing to dive into the creamy, effervescent espresso, there's just nothing in the world like a real Guinness. And this is still not even as good as McCarthy's downtown. Mm-hmm. When they do the right pour, because this glass and poured about 3/4 of the way up, get the spoon, let it sit for a minute, and then pour it over the spoon. It's just kind of a living organism. Yes, I'm waxing poetic over it, but it's Guinness.
And for
it's
those
gorgeous.
of you who don't know, McCarthy's is a bar in downtown Lexington, Kentucky.
The shuffle.
The Shamrock Shuffle.
We do a Shamrock Shuffle. We didn't do it last year because it was at the horse park, and I think I was working that weekend. But for many years, pre-COVID, the undetermined virus from unknown origins, they would have it downtown Lexington, and it's a shuffle. It's a 3K, so it's 1.8 miles. It's not much. Lots of people did it. You just ran through downtown, and then they would have the festival that day, usually around there. And McCarthy's was a place that day drinking was perfectly legal. It was St. Patrick's Day. All right, well, it's borderline acceptable. And everyone's down with a race, so they just sit down and have a good pint and relax. And unfortunately, the race is still not there this year. We're doing it, but it's not there this year. So we'll find some place to go get us. But nothing wrong. If you want to have a green beer to warm up with, certainly do it. But once you get a little relaxed, don't be afraid to explore a little bit. It's fun. It's Ireland. It's definitely Ireland. Irish inspired. Irish, so.
I have a question.
Shoot.
The Guinness that we buy in the bottle here in America.
Yeah.
Is it produced here in America? I'm kind of thinking like with Red Stripe used to be produced here, but it's now back in Jamaica. So I'm wondering.
Look at the bottle. This one's not. I just kind of glanced at it.
Okay.
They do have a place here, I think it's in Baltimore, that they make some. Look at the bottle.
I was just curious, yeah.
I think the ones I found are still out of Ireland.
Okay.
Brewed in Dublin. So yeah, this one's in Dublin. Look at the label. I know they do some here, but I don't think it's truly Guinness.
That was a legit question.
That's a very legit question. Yeah, always be smart and read your labels. Mm-hmm. But we will see you guys in a couple weeks. Hey, be responsible. Okay, I'll hit the like and subscribe because that's responsible too. That's twice. Also, Uber and Lyft or a taxi wherever you're at is a whole lot cheaper than a DUI or the guilt on your conscience if you do something stupid. Don't do it. Drink, have a great time, enjoy yourself. But if you have to Lyft or Uber or call someone to get you home, please do. It's just, trust me, it's not worth it. You know what else isn't worth it? Not hitting that like and subscribe button. 3 times, so I did it. See you guys in a couple weeks.
And comment.
And we're going to go, we're going to start Lexington and then go up the road to Georgetown in the next couple weeks and talk about someone who's 11 years old now. See you in a few weeks. Be responsible, but drink craft beer. See you soon.